I'm here this afternoon with Krishna Winston, who I am proud to announce is the 2022 Tom ODell Distinguished Service Award winner from the Rockfall Foundation. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Now this award is given for outstanding and long-term commitment to the environment. So can you explain to me a little bit about how your interest in the environment started?
I've thought about this a long time, and it seems to me that I was an environmentalist from maybe the time I was born, because of growing up in southern Vermont on a subsistence farm and always having a sense of where things came from and where they went. We were just very, very close to the environment and isolated in it a lot of the time. My schooling was very irregular because of where we lived. We were on a dirt road, and there was no way to get to our house without going up some very challenging hills. So I missed a lot of school. Between snow and mud time, sometimes a whole month's worth of school.
So with your interest in the environment, I know that you are a recently retired professor at Wesleyan, but during your time at Wesleyan, besides being in the German literature department, I probably said that wrong, but that's okay.
No, that's right.
You also brought some environmental activism to the Wesleyan campus. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I did. I can't say I was a leader, but by the time I moved to Middletown in 1970, I was already recycling. I immediately found out where the recycling was happening in Middletown, and as soon as awareness began to grow on the campus, which was very soon because the first Earth Day was in 1970, I joined in, and so I've been involved ever since.
And you've had something to do with the establishment of recycling and other environmental issues on the Wesleyan campus, which continue today.
Absolutely. And then also in the city of Middletown, because one of my former students who became an environmental attorney got me appointed to the committee that was setting up recycling for the city of Middletown, starting in 1989. And then when we actually went live with recycling in 1991, I became the chair of what was then the Recycling Advisory Council and is now the Advisory Commission.
And you also, I believe, are part of the Sustainable Middletown program? Part of Sustainable
I
CT?
am. I became, well, I was part of the process by which Middletown went for certification under Sustainable CT. And so out of that came a ragtag group of people who are Sustainable Middletown.
Okay.
And just this year I became the convener of that group. And it looks as though I will be spearheading our next certification effort.
Now, I've heard the word swap shack.
Yes.
Can you explain that to me?
Well, the swap shack was my brainchild. I had heard about towns in Massachusetts that had set up at their landfills or dumps or transfer stations a little house where you could bring things and take things and no questions asked. And I thought, gosh, that would be great for Middletown.
And I know there is one in Middletown.
And there is one now.
And I know you monitor it.
I do.
And it's being used. People come and go, bring and take.
Absolutely. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, we just got a new one because the old one had been around so long it was rotting out. So we got a new one, and Kim O'Rourke, the recycling coordinator, and I designed it so that people would not be able to leave large, bulky, broken pieces of furniture.
Just as an aside to that, or in addition to that, because Rockfall from time to time puts on repair cafes, which unlike swapping, we actually help people fix things so they don't have to throw them away or swap them. And you're one of our fixers.
Yes, I do jewelry repair. That's making jewelry is my right brain activity.
Your activism in Middletown has actually caused some very positive things to happen. So talk to me a little bit about when Middletown was going to be redoing their recreational fields all over town. There was an effort on the part of eCoin and yourself to make sure that those fields were renovated with natural grass versus artificial turf.
Right. ECOIN is the Environmental Collective Impact Network, and it was created by John Hall, who's the creator and executive director of the Jonah Center for Earth and Art, which I'm also involved with. And the members of ECOIN discovered very late in the day that the city was getting ready to put in 9 artificial turf fields. Supposedly this was the state of the art, the state of play in youth athletics. And we were aware of the terrible chemicals that are part and parcel of synthetic turf. And so finding out about this when it was almost a done deal and about to go to referendum for bonding, we launched a huge process which had many different aspects to it, and managed to shoot down that whole project and get the city to agree that anything bonded in the way of an athletic field would be natural grass.
And they also committed to maintaining those fields, because now it's been several years since many of them have been done. As I drive by, it looks like they're being taken care of very properly. So that
I hope so. I haven't surveyed them all. We were a little worried that there would be a conspiracy not to take care of them well, so that the calls for synthetic turf would be revived, and that has happened to some extent. But we keep pressing on.
Now, in addition to everything you've just talked about, you're also president of the Jonah Center for Earth and Art. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
Well, it's been a wonderful experience to get to know the other board members. We don't have a membership per se, just the board. We operate on a shoestring and do all kinds of wonderful educational things.
Yeah,
and
I know
projects.
you were also responsible for, the organization was responsible for helping Middletown replace trees, because many trees, especially on the treescape, are because of disease or whatever, are dying and need to be replaced.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did a big fundraising push because the city's budget for tree replacement was being gobbled up by tree removal. So the canopy was seriously reduced, and so we raised a good amount of money, and that really brought a lot of awareness to the Jonah Center.
Well, again, it's really a pleasure to be able to tell you that you're going to be receiving the Tom O'Dell Distinguished Service Award, and it's a well-earned honor for you. You've spent a lot of time making Middletown and the surrounding area a better place to live, and improving the environmental quality of the life that we live. So I want to thank you very much, and congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, Tony. This is really a huge honor. I always think of myself as more a follower than a leader. But when I follow, I try to do the very best job I can.
Well, again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.